people will not care and they will leave you at your lowest moment. Sounds like a pretty brutal statement to make. However, there is an element of truth to this. Back when I was in the Royal Marines and I was training for Special Forces selection, I lost everything that I ever cared about in a brief span of a couple of months or so. And in that moment, I didn't have anyone to turn to. And in that moment, I realised that it was just going to be me that was going to help me. Now, the point that I want to put across is this is coming from a place of love, and I want to educate you on the fact that the sooner that you realise that no one's coming to save you, then the easier it is to get on with whatever you're dealing with. As a bloke, it can be hard in life sometimes. You just sort of have to crack on. You're expected to not show any emotion, and if life beats you to your knees, you're expected just to stand up, not complain, and carry on. This is another thing that may be a bit like over the top and harsh, but life is ultimately, genuinely, overall pretty unfair. If you think about it, there's lots of unfair things that happen to good people, and there's lots of good things that happen to bad people. Right? That is just the nature of life, okay? The sooner that you realise that life is inherently unfair, the sooner that you realise that no one really cares about you, no one's going to come and save you, the sooner that you can put that behind you and go, right, the only choice I've got now is to remain stoic and push forward. And then the sooner that you can get past that, the sooner that you can then redouble your efforts. Say you've got a weakness in a particular field or something, or there's something that you really want to achieve and it's really, really hard. Ditch all the complaining, ditch all the negativity, ditch all of the life's unfair, or, you know, why isn't she caring about it, or why isn't he caring about it? As soon as you can ditch all of that and just have this laser focus of, I'm gonna go and achieve that thing, and I don't care how many times I get set back, the sooner you're gonna find that it's actually a lot easier to just crack on. Make peace with the fact that it is just you, and then it's you versus you. You should just be comparing yourself to yourself anyway, and not anyone else. But I think it was some sort of life coach or someone online. I did hear him say it was like there's two ways of looking at things. There's the end destination, the thing that you want, and then some other people, they just look at the obstacles that are in the way. The obstacle is the way, and just go that way. I'm going to go into a bit more detail about my personal experience with the whole no one's coming to save you. So for 2 years I trained for a UK Special Forces selection. I was in, at the time, one of the best squadrons in the Royal Marines, and also around the time that I was about to go on UK Special Forces selection, I was hoping to get promoted within the Royal Marines, which is an absolute honour. I was also living in a really nice flat, nicest house I've ever lived in, and I had my girlfriend at the time as well. I went on selection, and within the first week failed. Now, after spending 2 years of my life, day and night, obsessing over passing selection, every single second of every single day, and even my dreams at night were, how can I optimise my life in order to give myself the best chance of passing? And yeah, it was all I could think about for 2 years. So went on, failed, felt like a part of me had died. Concurrently to that, didn't get promoted. Concurrently to that, my housemate left and I couldn't live in that flat anymore. I had to move back into the barracks on base, which was not ideal. Concurrently to that, me and my girlfriend split up. So within the span of a couple of months, lost absolutely everything. I remember being on my hands and knees in that flat, in that empty flat, just before I left for the last time. And I was like, wow, I really am at rock bottom here. Like nothing else could go wrong. In fact, my car then broke down, and that was like the last thing that I had happiness tied to was my car, and the clutch went on it. But anyway, it just felt like everything went downhill. I hit rock bottom. That's what my perceived rock bottom at the time. And then there was two things really. It was one, no one's coming to help out in that situation. Not the Marines, not my parents, no one. Like absolutely no one was there to help out. And then second was, if I'm at rock bottom, then the only way is up. And then it was like, to hit rock bottom is kind of like almost a good thing in a way, because it teaches you that, you know, like if you can handle that, then you can like handle anything. And then of course like the only way is up. So I thought in the back of my head when I was at that perceived rock bottom, I did think in the back of my head, I was like, well, the only way is up from here. Like it can't get any worse. Like it cannot get any worse. So yeah, and then once you get through these, once you realise that you're going through, like, say you're going through the hardest part of your life at the moment, if you then realise that it can't get any worse than this, and no one's going to come and help me, it's just me that's going to drag myself out of this, then in the future, hopefully just the near future, you'll look back at your previous self and you'll be like, okay, sweet, I got through that. Like, I can get through harder things than usual. As a man, when you realise that no one is actually coming to save you and all the responsibility is on you to help other people, it's almost like you then become more of a man, and then people start to look up to you, and then they're more likely to take your advice, or you have stories to tell, or, you know, if someone's going through a hard time, you can always sort of support them, realising that if that person is a man going through a hard time, you can be like, okay, sweet, like let's have a little bit of like a wolf pack moment and see if he does want to emotionally share like troubles, because it does help even with blokes. So that's like a good thing that comes out of it.